Now, I'm sure by now you guys know that the final Air Jordan 1 from Travis Scott is going to be dropping towards the end of the month. And a lot of us kind of already know what it's going to be as far as the release goes. If you've been through a Travis Scott release before, you know it's going to be really, really tough to hit for retail. Not impossible, but very, very tough. So in today's video, I'm going to discuss whether or not you should pay resale for the Air Jordan 1 Travis Scott Olive. Now, I figured that I would take this opportunity to give you guys my rankings for the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 lows that have released over the years. And, you guys can let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about my ranking. And then let me know yours as well, from 1 to 5. What is the best Air Jordan 1 low from Travis Scott? Now, starting at number 5, I have the Black Phantoms here. Now, these are the ones that released most recently back in December of 2022. And I know some people kind of feel like this is the worst Travis Scott Air Jordan 1, and it may be, that's why I have it at 5. It's not a bad shoe at all. It kind of stands on its own just because it is way different from the other ones that drop, but this is still a nice looking shoe, and this was the only one I was able to ever get for retail. Now, coming in at number 4, I have the olives that are about to drop, and I actually like this colorway a lot. You have the white, the black, and the olive. I feel like this is a little bit more wearable than maybe like the reverse mochas and stuff like that, but they're not better than the reverse mochas that I have at number 3. At number 2, I have the OG brown joints, and then at number 1, I have the Fragment Lows. The Fragment Lows is just a really, really nice sneaker. That color blocking and that colorway is fire. You know what I mean? So I think that the Fragment Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 low is the best one that we've seen from Travis Scott. Now, in terms of if you should pay early resale for the olives, I'm going to say no. It's just way too expensive right now, and that's basically how it always is every time one of these Travis Scott Jordan 1s comes out. They start out really, really high, like the $2,000 range. These are obviously going to come down once the sneaker releases. Now, I don't think you should pay resale for a couple of reasons. One, you may actually hit on this sneaker. I know it's going to be tough. You know what I mean? It's going to be one of those things that may not happen for you. You should maybe expect an L, but definitely if you put all your footwork in, you may actually hit on the sneaker for retail, and retail is $150. Right now these prices for these are going from anywhere, I'd say, between like $1,100 to $1,500. The smaller sizes are going for, more on the lower end of that, but the higher sizes are going for more because I feel like the higher sizes are going to be the hardest ones to obtain because this is a women's release. And because it's a women's release, this isn't really geared, to have a whole bunch of like really high sizes. If you think of something like, let's say you wear a 13 in men's, that's a 14.5 in women's. And this will have like extended sizing, but I feel like those pairs are definitely going to be more on the limited side as far as the ones that they make. If you have more of a smaller foot, it's going to increase your chances to cop for retail and stuff like that. So especially if you wear a smaller size, I definitely see those being more affordable after the sneaker drops, more so than the higher sizes. But all the prices are going to come down after the sneaker releases. They're just not going to stay that high. Women's releases typically do not resale for as high as the men's pairs. And even though this is basically the same silhouette and everything like that, just like all the other Travis Scotts, because it's a women's release with women's sizing, the release is going to be a little bit different as far as like stock numbers go. Now, we're hearing that there's going to be 150,000 pairs of these like worldwide, which is kind of like the same amount that we were getting for the Phantoms that dropped, and that translated into around like 90,000 pairs on the Nike sneakers app for the Phantoms, which I kind of expect to be the same for these olives whenever they release on sneakers. Now, with the way that the sneaker market is today, even if you catch L's on the sneaker on release day and then you're thinking about paying resale to get the shoe, I don't think these are going to be reselling for as high as like the Fragment Lows or the Mochas. And because this is the final Air Jordan 1 from Travis Scott, it's going to have a lot of hype at the beginning. Everyone's going to be going after it. It's going to be mayhem for a little bit. But I feel like once the sneaker does release and, the dust kind of settles, I see this being like an $800 to $1,000 shoe, right? Which is still a lot of money to go out and pay resale for. But, I really wouldn't recommend paying resale. I'm sure, if you collect sneakers, I'm sure you have maybe some doubles and some triples in your collection. Go ahead and, throw them on GOAT or eBay or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And sort of like use sneakers that you're not wearing anyways, that are just collecting dust in a closet to try to take the sting out of that resale price. That's pretty much what I'm going to do. I got money in my GOAT account right now for that because I really like this shoe a lot. Like, I don't feel like it's a must cop for me, but I really do really want it, and I'm sure a lot of you guys feel the same way. To get a Travis Scott, it's really tough to get for retail, but the resale market nowadays, like, things are not going for as crazy as they once were like 2 or 3 years ago. So, it's more affordable in this day and age to pick up sneakers that you might take L's on more so than it was like 2 years ago, you know, or 3 years ago, because if this would have dropped back then, this would have been 2K, you know, pretty much right out of the gate. But don't go out and pay early resale. Prices will definitely come down, and if you're thinking about paying resale after the drop, I would sort of maybe wait 2 weeks afterwards and sort of see where like the market is going. But you know, maybe like a month or two afterwards, I think it'll stabilize out and you'll be able to get them for around like that $8 to $1,000 range depending upon size. But guys, I do want to know what your rankings are for the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 lows from 1 to 5. What's the best Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 that has come out over the years? Other than that, I'd like to thank you all for your time. Thank you guys for always supporting me. I appreciate you. I love you. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace. For more sneaker content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and you hit that notification bell so you never miss a video.